Sometimes I lay under the wall and thank God I'm breathing. Then I pray, don't take this too. I am here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never. Sometimes I lay under the wall and thank God I'm breathing. Then I pray, don't take me soon. I am here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity's around, I know someday it'll all turn around. Cause all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more wars, my children will play, and one day, oh, one day, one day. It's not about win or lose. We all lose when we feed on the souls of the innocent. Blood drenched pavement. Keep on moving, don't want to stay waiting. And in this space, you can lose your way. No way, it might drive you crazy, but don't let it give away. So no way. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity's around, just know someday it'll all turn around. Cause all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't wanna fight no more. There'll be no more wars, our children will play one day. One day, one day, no, one day, one day. So, say this all the same, treat people the same. Stop with the violence, stop with the hate. But they will be free, good time to be. One for the sing a song of freedom like my love and divorce. Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah. In the night I one day, one day. No, ain't seen it no bath, you madman. Knock it off. Right, fine people. Hope everybody's well. I'm doing a quick one, and then I'm going to finish, and then I'm going to go back to do a live for the simple reason that I need some help with a story. Now, I've got bits, but I've got more than bits. Stay there, people. I want to show you what I'm trying to effectively do, and I will read the story out. Just give me a moment, please. All right, stay there, people. I've got about 1 million pictures now. Right, so there, bam. Stay there, people. Again, not prepared, not organized, even though I've had time to do it. Hold on. Well, it's not there. Why have I not sent it to myself? Because I'm an idiot. Stay there, people. Hope everybody's good anyway, whatever you are doing in your life. Just drops a drink, as you do. Right, let me send the picture. I'd already thought I'd sent it. Amateur YouTuber, shit YouTuber, people. This is what you get. Right, so I thought I already sent it, but obviously I have not. So, second number, bam, bam, bam. Right, it has landed. Right, stay with me, beautiful people. We will do a little something. I hope this works. It normally does, but you never know. Bam, right. Right, guys, this is the story that I'm trying to get out, right? I'm trying to do my little bit because I know that I've got fantastic jail stories. Contacts. Boom. This is the story that Forest Bank are trying to stop getting out. Now, I don't know the ins and outs, I'll be honest with you. I know bits because I spoke to a prisoner at the prison today who will remain nameless. The story reads as following. Outbreak of COVID-19 among prisoners and staff at Forest Bank Prison. 2 entire wings are self-isolating. Measures are being put in place to stop a further spread of the virus. A Salford prison has been hit by COVID-19 outbreak amongst inmates and staff. The cases at Forest Bank Prison in Agecroft were confirmed today. Measures are being put in place to stop a further spread of the virus. The Category B prison has a capacity of 1,460 prisoners and is run by Sodexo Justice Services. A spokesperson for HMP Forest Bank said, a small number of staff and prisoners at HMP, have you noticed there's a small number of staff and prisoners at HMP Forest Bank have tested positive for COVID-19. We are currently working with Public Health England and the local authority to reduce the transmission of the infection, including ensuring appropriate self-isolation and testing takes place. A number of measures have been put in place to prevent any spread of the virus, including restricting visits for isolated residents and the necessary public protection equipment for staff. All restrictions remain under constant review. One source told the MEN both C2 wing and D1 are currently self-isolating, but there are rumours that the entire prison could finish up on lockdown. Prison officers saved the life of an inmate at Forest Bank Jail last weekend. Staff were alerted after the prisoner was found on A2 wing in his cell. Last month, the MEN reported how fishing lines are being used to deliver drugs to inmates at the prison. Contraband items have been thrown into the grounds of Forest Bank and collected by prisoners, police have said. This comes after the latest figures revealed drugs were found at Forest Bank 654 times last year, the highest of any prison in England and Wales. Right, bam. So what, I can't see the comments, so I'll come back to you now. Right. So what I want to make reference to is this particular story, right? Now, it's not a small number of staff and a small number of prisoners, right? You're talking in excess of 90 prisoners on each one of these wings, at least 90, right, on C2 and on D1, right? Now, I set up an interview today between a prisoner, right, no names, no wing, just a prisoner in the prison and a journalist, right? Now, the thing is, the prison, when they've been pushed, right, I'm going to tell you the story as I know it from inside the prison, right? Obviously, I'm not in the prison, as you can see from my kitchen, even though it looks like a cell with all my stuff lined up. So Forest Bank Prison is a prison that I've served time in, me personally, right? And the prison's a joke, mate. It really is a joke. And like I said, so I'm going to tell you the story as I know it. The newspaper, that's the report. I know more. So I'm going to go into why. Right. So a nurse at the prison, right? A nurse at the prison. I've got the first name. I need her surname. That's what I'm after, the name. Right. Now, this nurse was apparently had COVID symptoms, I believe. She went off work self-isolating. While she was self-isolating, she went and got a test. The test came back positive for coronavirus. She then returned back to work, not telling anybody, right, that she had COVID-19, tried and tested, positive, right? She's gone into the prison.
When you were a nurse in prison, you have access to every wing. You hand out medication. You're in contact with other staff. It could be admin staff. It could be prison officers. It could be other nurses, prisoners. Now, when you're in prison, right, you are in an enclosed environment where, like I said, prison's not the cleanest of places, even though the wing cleaners and orderlies all over the prison do their best. Yeah, prisons, like I said, Forest Bank, it's pretty new. I think it was 2001. Right. Just let me get rid of it. Right. So yeah. So 2001, the prison was built. Right. Now, this nurse, knowing she had coronavirus, has gone into Forest Bank prison. She's continued to work. I don't know how long she was working for, but she worked within the prison. Now, she has infected numerous staff, right? Lots and lots and lots of staff, loads of staff are self-isolating at home, right? Prisoners are confirmed cases of COVID-19, right? Now, this is the thing. If you've got a loved one in Forest Bank, right, you should be trying to help me get the name of this nurse. Now, the nurse, right, she's called Katie. I don't know her surname at this moment, right? This has only been dropped on me today. I will find out her surname if it kills me. And the reason I want to get the story out is because it won't just be a local story, right? There's more to it. This nurse, I need to make this point. This nurse has now been sacked by G4S, by Sodexo. She's actually been sacked. Now, I like to get stories like this out. Now, do you know what the prison have said relating to the nurse? They've said, we do not discuss individual cases. Now, that is an absolute cop-out by the prison. Well, what it means in layman's terms is you're on the right track, but we're not going to open ourselves up, because what the prisons not want, especially Forest Bank, which is one of the most corrupt prisons in England and Wales, in my opinion. Another thing as well, it said there that Forest Bank has had the third highest drug seizures in any prison in England and Wales, right? Oh, sorry, the highest, I believe it's the highest or third highest for 3 or 4 years in a row, give or take, right? Now, this nurse, Katie, contracted coronavirus. She's then gone into the prison and give it to prisoners, prison officers, prison nurses, etc., etc. This woman has now been sacked, right? She's infected like finger, right? This is the thing. A prison is an enclosed environment, right? Where, like I said, just think, I did an interview when coronavirus first started. I did an interview and I said, if this gets a grip in prison, in any prison, right? I said, what it will do, it will run through the prison population, because you live in an enclosed spaces, right? I believe now that the regime is a very stringent regime. They're doing 8 cells at a time unlock. So for those that don't know, a controlled unlock, they're letting eight cells out at a time. Go and get your shower, go and get on the phone, go and post your mail, go and do what you're doing, right? But then they get locked up, then another 8 come out, and so on and so forth. Exercise is continuing. They get an hour of exercise in the afternoon. But the situation is, I am trying to get the name of this Katie. This Katie is her first name. I don't know her surname. She was a nurse at Forest Bank. She's been sacked, and rightfully so. Now, the prison and the prison governor, Matt Spencer, right, is one of the most corrupt prison governors in the UK system. It's a fact, right? A lady that I won't name, right, that used to work in the prison, handed a dossier of corruption like this, right, to the governor. The governor said he would deal with it. The governor, Matt Spencer, you know who you are, and I know your officers watch my channel as well, right? He's a scumbag, this man. He's holding on to power, and he wants to retreat, and he wants to go and move his family to Italy, to some nice little lake, and retire there. And you know what? He's doing everything he can to stay in power, right? I'm doing everything I can to expose the prison guys, right? Now, this prison it's a really big problem. It is a massive problem. Like, yeah, Nicola Ferreira there, she says it's a massive, massive problem, and it's a breeding ground for infection, right? Now, as I'm talking to you guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, one second, let me find my own thing. There, right, so go back there, go to the live. I want someone to pull me a name, right? I've had prison officers in the past, no names again, some that work there, some that don't work. hold on, turn that down. Got my Bluetooth speaker on. I'll turn it off. So what I will do in the comment section here, I will post a link to the story. I will also, oh, for fuck's sake, I don't know how you pin my own stuff because I'm a shit YouTuber. No, and it just keeps taking me to the story. Oh, you bastard. Hold on. Pin message. It's been pinned. Right, guys. So what I'm saying to you in layman's terms, I am trying to get the name of this nurse, right, that has put prisoners, if you've got a loved one in that prison, they potentially put your loved one's life at risk, right? And you might think, oh, that's a bit melodramatic. Guys, look at the prison population. There's prison, when you're in prison, you don't age the same as you do as if you are on the out, right? Anyone that's got a thingy, by the way, anyone that's got any information, right, you can contact me anonymously, you can contact me directly, whatever your case is, right? I want to get this story out to the people. If you have got, like, do you know what? And it doesn't, do you know what? I'm just saying, oh, if you've got a loved one in that prison, if you were the loved one of a prison officer within Forest Bank, right, your also loved one could be at risk, right? Prison officers, right? It's a career. Well, it used to be a career. It's not really a career anymore. It's one of the most unattractive job prospects in the world, in my opinion. But yeah, like, you've got prisoners. When you're in the system, healthcare in prison is shocking. A paracetamol is given for most things. Your legs hanging off, paracetamol. Got an headache, paracetamol. Everything's dealt with by medication, by paracetamol, and or give you some painkillers. That's all it is, guys, right? Now, like I said, you've got prisoners with underlying health problems, right? You age differently on the outside than you do on the inside. You definitely age quicker, in my opinion, on the inside, right? Crap food, vitamin D deficiencies because of lack of natural light, things like that, yeah. Recycled air being regurgitated throughout the prison, right? And like I said, when you've got an airborne virus, I know they're saying it's like thingy, but then it's supposed to be airborne as well. That's why we're all wearing these fucking silly masks that don't do anything. You've got recycled air being continuously pumped into the prison, right? So C2 is locked down, I believe, and so is D1. Now, like I said, the full prison could go into lockdown. If the full prison goes into lockdown, they've just restarted recently in the last few weeks, yeah? They've restarted face-to-face visits, right? Albeit with, like, thingy. Oh, another thing I need to address as well from this particular story is that public protection equipment is only just being used in the last week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Before that, there was no personal protective equipment. The prison, Sodexo, have put prisoners' lives at risk, prison officers' lives at risk. Now, like I said, I'm not a dickhead, right? Obviously, prison officers are people. There's a lot of good officers at Forest Bank. There's a lot of corrupt scumbags as well. Now, I know people that have worked in the prison. I know people that have left the prison, right? I know people that are in the prison as prisoners. I know people that have left the prison as prisoners. Now, left the prison as prisoners, left, obviously, as ex-offenders. Not sex offenders, ex-offenders. So yeah, so Forest Bank guys, right? I want to blow the lid on this story. I'm not doing it to take all the plaudits. I'm not doing it for that. It's just I know a lot of people on this channel have got contacts that might be in prison, or you might be watching this and be thinking, well, my loved one's in that jail. It could be my loved one. If you've got a loved one in prison, whether they've got bad health or not, your loved one could be struck down by this virus. Healthcare is shocking in prison. Another thing as well, if your loved one gets sent to hospital from Forest Bank, they won't ring you and tell you that your loved one's in hospital. They won't tell you because it's a security risk, innit? Security breach. So they will not tell you. This is the thing, man. You've got to think about the situation, right? So let me just, you've got to think about the situation that's going on. Hold on. The comment section here. I hate hearing my own voice because it's droning. Right, hold on. Right, so anyway, so what I'm trying to do in layman's terms, I need your help trying to get the name. Katie is her first name. She was a nurse at Forest Bank. She is no more. I want to help get this story out. Like I said, I just pass the information. If you are a serving prisoner at Forest Bank, if you've got a loved one that's in Forest Bank, if you're a prison officer at Forest Bank, if you're self-isolating, right, working in Forest Bank, please contact me. My number is on the screen. Contact me anonymously. I don't need your name. I don't need to know if you're in prison, if you've got, I don't need to know anything about you or your loved one. I just want the name. Just want the name. Right? It's as simple as that. So yeah, if you can help me, I would greatly appreciate it. I'm not doing this for myself. I'm doing this for the prisoners and even prison officers, to be honest. Let's get it out there. Our prison transfer being put on hold, I'm not sure. I know that face-to-face visits for people that have tested positive or are showing symptoms thereof of coronavirus are not allowed to have visits. So after months and months and months of not having visits, and then purple visits eventually being rolled out, albeit too late, then bam. So simple, right? Get on to me. Let me know. If you've got the name, let me know. If you don't want to contact me, contact the paper directly. No problem at all. But we just want to get the story out there. It's about prisoners. It's about the corrupt Sodexo prison. The reason I've got an issue with Sodexo, because I know what's going on within the prison, and having been in the prison, and Matt Spencer's like claw-like grip over the Forest Bank, because he doesn't want to lose his post. How he's still in his post? Google Forest Bank, Google corruption, Google Forest Bank headlines, right? It goes back so long, and this guy's been at the helm. I think most of the, I don't know, I don't think it's all the time, but I think over 10 years, easy, 12 years, I believe, that he's been the governor of that prison. I met him on one occasion. That's all I know, right? Like I said, your loved one in prison, right? It could cost them their life. Lots of prisoners, like I said, you might have a 35-year-old that's got the health of a 50-year-old, a 50-year-old that's got the health of a 70-year-old, right? If you go to prison with any life-limiting disease, COPD, there's a prisoner by the name of Ray Lucy, God bless his soul, had COPD. He died in Forest Bank. Real shit, people, real shit. Now, if you've got cancer or any sort of serious health problem in prison, you could end up leaving that prison in a body bag. Trust me when I tell you. There was a prisoner, Michael Quinn Jr., not at Forest Bank, he was at Berwyn. He was having a heart attack. He was on his buzzer. The night clock, he came and said he'll be right till the morning. The man died in his cell of a heart attack. Real talk, right? Like I said, these people are in prison. The prison, before they're ever prisoners, they are people, right? These people are going to be reintroduced into society at some point, right? Prison's hard enough as it is, isolated, not allowed to see your kids, not allowed to see your missus, not allowed to see your loved ones, right? And then you've got a nurse that was probably get sick pay if she was on the sick, but chose, I don't know if it was malicious, the fact that she's gone into work and tried to infect people in any which way. But the fact is this is happening in Forest Bank, guys. The prisoner that I spoke to today, right, has said that he believes there are rumors that the full prison could go into lockdown. You might have somebody in that prison. You might have one of the 1,460 inmates in that prison as your loved one, your friend, your partner, right? My number is on the screen. That is my personal mobile number. I just need a name. You could text me, you could ring me off a withheld number and tell me the name. That's all I'm interested in. And we'll get the story out, because like I said, they're playing with people's lives here. And the story, the prison have said, a small number. Do you call 180 inmates a small number? There are countless staff. There are staff off into the high double figures at Forest Bank. We need to get the story out. We need to expose the prison. We need to speak up for prisoners. We need to speak up for prisoners' families. And also, I include prison officers as well. Like I said, I've reached out to an officer that blocked me on my main number for some strange reason a long time ago. So I've contacted her on my other phone. I'm hoping that she comes back to me. All I'm interested in is a name. My name's Cody, and I look at all my washing powder. People are obsessed with a washing powder game. The washing powder game is strong, as is all the fabric conditioner there as well. But anyway, back to the subject in hand. Nah, don't ring me, bro. My phone's on divert, brother. I'm on a live. So guys, I need a name. I want a name. I need a name. Katie, she was a prison nurse at Forest Bank. Please, please, please help me. Help me, help the prisoners in Forest Bank. We need to get the story out. Another reason I want to get the story out as well, apart from doing the right thing, is because the prison are trying to stop the story getting out. When they was asked if this nurse had been sacked, do you know what the prison said? And it's a cop-out, and it's an MOJ, even though their MOJ are running, are in the background, it's run by Sodexo, but MOJ normally say on prisons and stuff, we do not discuss individual cases. That is a cop-out, guys. And the aim and the role of that blanket thing, and this is what Sodexo have used today, we will not discuss individual cases, because they want to keep a lid on stories getting out. Prisons, guys, prisons, all they do, bro, prisons have got Twitter accounts. Do you know what these Twitter accounts do? They're called propaganda accounts. What I mean by propaganda is they push their agenda, as in the positives, and they try to suppress the negatives. I get the negatives out. I will continue to try and help prisoners and get stories out. Anyway, I'm going to leave this video. We're going to jump back on. If you've got any information on the story that you see on your screen now, please contact me. That the prison are playing God with prisoners' lives, and I, for one, do not accept it in any which way. The prison try and shut things up. I will try to expose the prison. And you know what? I have complete and utter faith that I will be able to get a name for this nurse that's been sacked, not because of me, but because of you great people. On that note, guys, let me come back to you. Going to leave it here. Going to jump back straight back on, and we'll do what we do. Cody is out.